A very good evening to one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I welcome all of you to Pradigna platform. Today we are here for the introductory session on a new program that Pradigna is launching called MEHA, which is on diabetic management in Ayurveda. I'll give you the details just after a small introduction about our platform called Pradigna. So this is a program that we conducted, the first program, in fact, on cosmetology, trichology, and diet obesity management. Was the first program that we conducted. Next, we had Kerala Panchakarma, a program being conducted in this one. In fact, we have had two batches of that. Agnikarma was yet another program that we conducted. Uttaravasti was the next one. Aromatherapy and SOP management was yet another program that we conducted after these programs. Ashana was a unique program which was on diagnostic techniques in Ayurveda, which was one of the first of its kind in Ayurveda. Vastikarma obviously was another program that we conducted. Subalyam was a program on the Kaumarabhritya aspect of Ayurveda, and we had eminent teachers for that. Ritu Samiksha was a program on gynecological disorders and its management, their management in Ayurveda. We had Sparsha, a course on dermatology, which again was conducted on our platform. Rekta Mokshna was Rudhira was a program on Rekta Mokshna. Kerala Panchakarma, again, the second batch, as I told you before, was again we had conducted. Ayurvedic cosmetology was this was our second batch on cosmetology. Brihat Saptaham was a unique program that we conducted with 17 eminent scholars of Ayurveda, and this was a 21-day class program on all the three Brihat Trais. Again, Agnikarma second batch was done. Infertility management was yet another course that we conducted. Uttaravasti second batch also was completed. And Aromatherapy SOP was just over last month. And now, actually, Niramaya is a program on rheumatological conditions in Ayurveda, which is currently ongoing. I just want to tell you about a program called Shastra Madhanam, which is usually conducted by Vakbata Sarani, an organization. And this time we have partnered with them, and we are doing it online. And if you have any students, as your friends and colleagues, if you have any students that you know, if you're a teacher, if you know some teachers, please do pass this on, because there are some competitions with huge prize money and Vagbata Puraskar, etc. are there, up for the grabs if you are interested. So this is going to be happening on the November 1st to November 3rd. And as you know, we are here for this program called Meha. And I'll just give you a few details before I hand over to each teacher. So the program is going to be conducted from the 18th of this month to 31st of this month. Okay, the timing will be 8 to 10 p.m. The course fees is 1,499 for everyone, and for Pradigna participants, we have reduced it to 999. So these are the teachers for the program, and we'll go one by one. So before I call the first teacher. Obviously, I am going to start with Kiradamurthy sir, and before I hand it over to him, let me give you a brief introduction of sir. Also, Dr. Rahul will be posting a link to WhatsApp chats, the WhatsApp group in the chat box, which you can click and join a WhatsApp group where all the details about this program will be given. If you want to send this kindly share this with your friends and colleagues who are interested in diabetology, and maybe they'll be able to, get an informed idea about this program and decide upon joining or not. So let me introduce Professor Kiradamurthy sir. Professor Kiranamurthy PP was working as a professor and HOD in the Department of Samhita and Siddhanta at VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. He secured his UG from Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, and PG in Kaya Chikitsa from Government College Indian Medicine, Mysore. He has a teaching experience of more than 34 years, starting from 1986 to till date, guiding the PG scholars at VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. He is a chief editor of Bishak News, Subhodham, Sathayanam, worked as co-editor for the literature Concept of Mind, member Board of Studies, University of Calicut, member of Vagbata Sarani, served as a chairman of Board of Exams for many times, coordinator of Foreign Studies, VPSP Ayurveda College and Duisburg University, chief editor of Bishop News, member of Board of Studies, PG Kuhas, member secretary, VPSP Ayurveda College Council, Kottakkal, guest lecturer, Hasti Ayurveda course at Guru Ayur, Director of Research Activities, Duisburg University, SN, and VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. Research Guide of PG Studies at the VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. Member Ethics Committee, VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. He was a program, involved in a lot of programs of Pradigna and have been supporting us from the past, since the beginning itself. So over to Kiradamurthy sir for introduction of his topic. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam. And I wish all the participants a very good evening. It's really a happy occasion to associate with Praditya and Dr. Rahul. All are very much associates of mine. Thank you very much. So my subject, I'm entering into a subject. My subject is understanding Prameha through Ayurveda, clearing the concepts. See, when the diseases were classified, they were classified into 4 types. That is, one easily curable and curable with effort. And the third one is called manageable diseases or yapya. And the other one is incurable. So in this Prameha, the disease comes as an example for manageable diseases. So most of the diseases in Ayurveda which gives result is the lifestyle disorders, because Ayurveda always tell about the lifestyle and its relation with the disease onset. So such a disease is Prameha, where the lifestyle change can give result or can make the disease curable or manageable. So this is very much important. Ayurvedic, we have to know the concept of Ayurveda about Prameha. Prameha as such, we know that a glucose level in the blood is increasing in the Prameha, that is called as diabetes mellitus. That is, everybody knows, the common public knows, but it is only in a tip of iceberg. So Charaka explains it, the platform of the Prameha, how it occurs, and this increase of glucose in the blood sugar is only a tip of iceberg. So he explains only in the concept of Prameha, Charaka has explained different types of this Nidana Vishesha, Dosha Vishesha, and Dushya Vishesha. He explains what are the causative factors for the Prameha, because Prameha Nidana or Prameha Chikitsa, it's a group of disorders are involved. It is classified according to urine, the concept of urine, according to that 20 diseases are there, and according to doshas, 3 types can be classified, and there is 2 types of Prameha that is occurring for Sthula and Adhisthula and also Krisha. So there is different types of Pramehas involved, different causative factors are there, and he explains about Nidana Vishesha. What are the Nidana Visheshas? That Shleshma Medo Mutra Samjanana, that which vitiates Kapha and also Mutra is called. So he tells about Prabhuta, Samanyam Lakshanam Tesham, Prabhuta Avila Mutrada. The identification mainly occurs in that time was identifying the Mutra and finding out. There will be turbidity, there will be sugar, madhurya in the Mutra, why that it was the Prameha was identified. But when we go to the Prameha Purva Rupa, we can tell it as pre-diabetes conditions. So different types of Lakshanas are explained in the Prameha. Svedonga Ganta Sitilatvamange Shayasana Swapna Sukha Bishanga all the pre-diabetes symptoms are grouped in the Prameha Purva Rupa. So we can identify whether Prameha is coming or not, or the Purva, from the Purva Rupa we can, so from that we can manage the Prameha and see the different conditions of Mutra. There are examinations in the ancient scriptures itself. Mutra Pariksha is there, Taila Bindu Pariksha is there, and Satya Asadhyata can be known. So, and there is a wide scope of treating the diseases, that is Bahudrava Sleshma Atra Dosha Vishesha. There may be kapha disorders. So what is the difference between a tumor and prameha? Both the causative factors will be told, but one disease becomes a tumor, one disease becomes a prameha. So he explains, Saraga, that concept we should know, that he tells Bahudrava Sleshma. Dravatva is increased in the prameha, like in tumor it is granthana. So how this dravatva spreads all over the body, that also he explains in Dushya Vishesha. This is Bahvabatham, Medomamsam, Sharira Jakleja. All these things circulate through the bloodstream and goes all the areas, and he explains how beautifully he explains when this Bahubadha Veda and stagnates, or the Kabha, that is Bahudrava, stagnates in the urinary system, renal disorders occur. When it stagnates in the heart, heart disorders occur. Everything in the marmas, when they stagnate, the disease comes. So what is the principle we have to adapt in treating this diseases? We have to see the specific causative factors. There may be 1,000 factors which produce a disease, and yukti is needed, that is Bahukarana Yogacha. We have to find out what cause precisely is there in the patient, and patient can teach us better than anybody. I have seen in many cases that he may be taking some of the medicines which are very effective, he tells and he shows it, and we will be learning from him. Such medicines also I have experienced in Prameha. So we will be having a very good discussion and also knowledge about Prameha. It's only 5 minutes. I thank you for inviting me for this introduction. We shall have a good discussion when the first Prameha concept is opened. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that energetic introduction. Thank you, sir. So we'll be introducing the next teacher, which is Dr. Praveen. So before that, let me tell you that we'll be having, we'll be telling you all the details about the course after all the teachers have already spoken. If you have any doubts, please do put it in the chat, or you can wait until the teachers have spoken about the this course, and we can we'll try to help you out afterwards. Okay, so next let me introduce Dr. Praveen BS. Dr. Praveen got his BAMS degree from Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubli, Karnataka. He did his MD from SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. Currently, he is working as a professor and HOD, Department of Panchakarma, Alvaz Medical College and Hospital, Modabadri. He worked as physician in Arivaidya Chikilsalayam. He has also worked as assistant professor in Department of Panchakarma and SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. He has done certificate course advanced yoga from Arsha Yoga Vidyapeetham. He has done almost 30 publications of various national and international journals. He has received Agnivesha Pattabhisheka Award, Best Paper Award. He has attended various workshops. He has also received journals, reviewed journals, has attended over 18 CMEs. He had done TV and radio interviews for various channels. So without further ado, let me call upon Dr. Praveen BS, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Sham. Am I audible? Hello?
You're audible, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So it gives me immense pleasure to get associated with Team Pratigna Dr. Sham and Dr. Rahul and Dr. Anjana. They are doing a wonderful job in the field of Ayurveda, especially for the budding doctors, whoever is even so many experienced doctors are there, they might be having extraordinary knowledge as far as the practice of Ayurveda is concerned. But this kind of platform is very essential to upgrade ourselves. So, in a due course of time, it is very important to upgrade your knowledge and add upon so many new informations what is being given by the learned people like Professor Kirat Murthy sir and TS, the speaker. So it's a wonderful platform, and I'm extremely happy to get associated with that of Team Pratijna. This probably is a fourth or fifth course. I'm just getting associated with this Team Pratijna. So in this topic of the diabetes mellitus, I would be dealing on the diabetic foot. So it is a very relevant topic to today's point of view, because everyone knows that diabetes mellitus is a very burning issue, and what WHO has said is 1 in 8 in India, they are diabetic, and by 2025 most of them would be a diabetic patient. So it owes to many positive factors, maybe like the lifestyle or the food habits, and various causes are there. Stress and the job and everything are been involved in this. So there are so many people who have got complications. At the beginning, they might not be knowing that they are suffering with the diabetes, but they comes with certain problems like burning in the foot or some wound in the foot which is not being getting healed after using so many antibiotics and other medications. So when you investigate them, then accidentally they would be got diagnosed as the diabetes, suffering from the diabetes mellitus, and such is the complication. There are so many complications of diabetes are there, like neuropathy is there, nephropathy is there, and retinopathy, so on. There are so many complications are there. But this is a very unique problem what I would be speaking on, that is diabetic foot, which is the combination of maybe atherosclerotic changes, ischemia, and diabetic neuropathy. At the same time, even the trauma causes more problems, and ultimately patient may land in the necrosis or gangrene, and probably most of the people who have got worse complication, they would go for the amputation. So such is the seriousness of this topic. So as far as Ayurveda is concerned, there are references are there that we need to just club together, and then we need to understand that what sort of the concept what we have to frame, how do we frame the total samprapti relating to that of diabetes mellitus, and ultimately planning the treatment. What is very important is that planning the treatment. At the same time, we need to look into many of the researches which are already been conducted in the contemporary science as well as Ayurveda science, and just incorporating in our practice, so that our practice flourishes, and we successfully manage such a complication of diabetic foot. So in the session of this diabetic foot clinical challenge, I would be speaking more on how to understand, how to plan the protocol of treatment, and how to manage these conditions. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Praveen sir, for that introduction. I just want to tell all the participants that Dr. Rahul is posting a link to a WhatsApp group where all the details about this program will be given, the brochure, the curriculum, everything will be given there, so that you can make an informed decision whether or not it is for you, this course is for you or not. Please do share this with your friends and colleagues who are interested in, starting a career or developing their clinical expertise in diabetology. And I'm very sure this will help you out. Now, let me call upon Dr. Kashinath next. So before I call him, give the mic over to him, let me give you a small introduction of Dr. Kashinath. Dr. Kashinath Gandhi, MD, PhD, Swastha Vritta and Yoga, Associate Professor at National Institute of Ayurveda, Deemed University, Government of India, Ministry of Ayush. He has experience of 12.5 years in teaching. He has been speaker in several national and international workshop and seminars. He has published 4 books, 2 monograms, and 31 research articles. He also has been assigned various duties in international and national conferences. He has been awarded Ayurveda Parangada Dhanvantari Award by Vedic Sanskriti Prachara Sahidi of Jaipur. So I hand over to Dr. Kashinath for a introduction of his topic. Over to you, Doctor.
Namaste. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sahasraksham Ganadisham Sugurum Cha Saraswatim Janakam Janetrim Cha Shastrado Pranamamyam. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Pratigya family for this wonderful venture. The topic which I am going to discuss in this course is it's therapeutic yoga for diabetes mellitus. As we all know that there is a saying in Charaka. He says that Vishama Swasthavrittam ete rogaha tasmat aparaha jayante anaturaha swasthavrittam paro bhavit. So what he want to say is that every disease is because of Vishama Swasthavritta. As we know that diabetes mellitus is the one of the lifestyle disorders, and it is happening because of Vishama Swasthavritta, that is impaired lifestyle. So when we stick on to the healthy lifestyle, ultimately we can combat the many diseases, even we can control the conditions like diabetes mellitus. But when it comes to the managing the diabetes mellitus with the lifestyle, ultimately first and foremost thing what we get is ahara and vihara. So when it is a vihara, ultimately vyayama and yogasana, isn't it? So again, when it comes to the yogasana, again, most of the people will think that it's a very easy to practice yogasana by seeing the some books, or by referring certain books, or by seeing certain videos. But it's not true, because how exactly Ayurveda says that Purusham Purusham Vikshya, in the same way, even the principles of yoga even also requires certain principles to adopt. It's not that by seeing the videos you are going to practice. Because there is again in Ashtankara beautifully says that Sukartam Sarva Bhutanam Mataha Sarva Pravartaya Sukam Dharmatta Vinacha Bhavati Tato Dharmo Paro Bhavet. What exactly you want to say is that anything, if it is done according to the dharma, then only you are going to get the sukha. So you are going to get the desired result. If it is not according to the dharma, here dharma is not related to any religion, but it is according to the principle. Even though if you are practicing the yoga abhyasa, if it is not according to the principles, then obviously same yogasana is going to affect you adversely. So that is the reason whenever you are choosing any kind of yogasanas, whether it is a asanas, whether it is a pranayama, whether it is any relaxing techniques, so you need to understand for which conditions we need to use which kind of asanas, which kind of pranayamas. Again, pranayamas, again, there are numerous types of pranayamas, like cleansing pranayama, heating pranayama, cooling pranayama, soothing pranayama. Again, varieties of relaxation techniques like IRT, instant relaxation technique, quick relaxation techniques, deep relaxation technique, MSRT, many more are there. But whenever we are practicing any kind of yoga abhyasa, then we need to very vigilant to know what is the condition and what is the condition of the patient. Accordingly, we need to advise. So in such a way, we need to understand the concept of yogasana. So here in my talk, we are going to elaborate, we are going to discuss very much in detail regarding the which kind of asana should be advised for which kind of patients. Because earlier speaker was saying that there are many classifications of madhumeha, like stula pramehi, krusha pramehi. So in stula pramehi, which kind of yoga abhyasa we need to advise? In krusha pramehi, which kind of yogasana we need to advise? So according to the person, we need to choose a particular yoga abhyasa. In the same way, when it comes to the cause, again, cause are various. Some are stress induced, some are it may be because of improper I mean to say because of sedentary lifestyle, or it may be hereditary. So according to the cause, again, we need to choose different kind of yogasana. So according to the cause, according to the nature of the person, according according to the structure of the person, we need to choose different kind of yoga asanas. So in systematic way, when we apply the concept of yoga abhyasa, then you are going to get the desired results. So in my talk, I am going to elaborate in different way of yoga abhyasa and which kind of yoga abhyasa is suitable for the which kind of person. All the things will be discussed. And even a very simple way, even we need to know that physical structure of the person. We usually feel that everyone can practice asana, and even most of the people, even they feel that whenever they are practicing yoga abhyasa, 1 or 2 days they will practice, third day they feel I am not able to flexible and I am not able to reach the final post, so I can't do that one. It's not like that. So even in my talk, I am going to advise you certain tricks with the help of some tools, how you can attain the final posture. If you attain the final posture with the help of tools like using the chair, using the props, using the bricks, so using these tools, if you adopt the appropriate posture, even you are going to get the same result how other person are doing. So these points will be discussed in my talk. Thank you for this opportunity. Once again, I would like to congratulate all the Pratigya family, preferably Dr. Rahul and Dr. Anjana, who approached me for this noble cause. And I wish all you people to succeed in your venture. Thank you, and all.
Thank you, Dr. Kashinath. Wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. Now, as our teachers are already told, it affects this diabetes is a disease that affects a lot of systems in our body. So we have experts from different, aspects of Ayurveda, and they'll be dealing with each and individual, organ or system which is affected. So next, I'll be calling Dr. Wahida Rahman, who's already a teacher of Pradigna. So before that, let me just tell you that if you have any doubts regarding this program, please do put it in the chat box, and we will tell you after the teachers have spoken. We will try to clear all the doubts. Dr. Rahul will be posting a link to a WhatsApp group, which you can click on and join a WhatsApp group where all the details about this program will be given. Even this video, if you are coming late, do not worry. This video will be posting there so that it is you can make an informed decision. So let me introduce Dr. Wahida now. Dr. Wahida Rahman A is now working as Senior Medical Officer at Government Ayurveda Dispensary, Pathanamthitta. BMS from Ayurveda College, Tripunithura, 1997-2002 batch with first rank. MS in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga from Government Ayurveda College, Thiruvananthapuram, 2005 batch. Working as ISM Medical Officer from 2006 onwards, successfully treated more than 1,757 infertility cases as on 7/3/2021. So that is March. Now it has, I'm very sure it has gone up. Awarded as a best doctor of Pathanamthitta in 2015, Bishak Pradibha State Award of AMI in 2016, Charaga Award of State Government in 2017, conducted seminars all over Kerala, some parts of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka on various aspects of Ayurvedic gynecology, conducted webinars for doctors of Australia, UAE and India. So let me call upon Dr. Wahida for a small introduction of a topic. Over to you, Wahida, madam.
Hello, namaste. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
Respected dignitaries, my dear friends, and all the participants of Pradigna team, my humble pranamam to one and all. First of all, I thank you, Pradigna team, for participating me in this MEHA webinar, because I'm practicing as a gynecologist in Ayurveda, and in MEHA there is gestational diabetes. There is a chance for the gynecologist to treat gestational diabetes and various aspects of gestational diabetes. There are so many conditions with which we will not know if there is any diabetes. Only the screening chart may connect as it is diabetes, etc. Because in gestational diabetes, there is no symptoms as early as possible, only thirst, fatigue, etc., which are common in pregnancy. So the gestational diabetes is one of the important thing as we screen it early, and as we advise its regular practice, ahara, vihara, etc., for preventing the gestational diabetes. And even if there is some lifestyle disorders like PCOS, etc., there may be great chance for getting gestational diabetes. Even if the mother is on diabetes mellitus, there is risk in pregnancy, and there may be high risk in diabetes mellitus patients in pregnancy. So as a working as Ayurvedic physician, we need to know the conditions, in which conditions we can treat, in which conditions they need insulin support, and what are the common methods with Ayurveda we can treat the gestational diabetes, and what are the simple yogas we can treat with the gestational diabetes with no complications, and to prevent the complications of gestational diabetes, that is the macrosomia of the baby, and some intellectual defect in the babies, etc. In which so we have to identify all the conditions, and in my class I will explain some of my experience with gestational diabetes and the treatment which we can do in that venture. And also I congratulate the team Pradigna for giving this type of classes to all the practicing doctors, and your ultimate aim is the propagation of Ayurveda and helping the upcoming doctors for practicing with confidence. Congratulations once again for team Pradigna and Dr. Rahul, Dr. Shyama and Anjana. The Trimurtis, they are doing a good job. And I am wish all the participants of Pradigna, the Meha seminar, for a wonderful session. That is because so many good practitioners like Giradamurthy sir, etc., are participating in this webinar. In this webinar, I may be a Shishu, that is treated now more than 1,851 babies yesterday, and in these cases, about 25% of cases were gestational diabetes. So we can explain some factors in which we can do with Ayurveda, and in which there may be good intervention is needed. Thank you once again, and thank you all for inviting me to the introduction classes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you. And as madam has said, we take extreme pride in selecting the best faculty for the classes, because that is the one thing that we put our most efforts into. That is selection of the correct faculty for the correct topics. And one more thing I want to add is that in Pradigna, what we usually do is whatever courses we come out with is a course which is going to help the participant in developing a career in that field. For example, all the topics, if you can see, it is intended only for that purpose. So thanks, madam, for that wonderful introduction. So let me go to the next sir, which is Dr. Gopi Krishna sir. So before I hand it over to him, a small introduction of Dr. Gopi Krishna. Dr. M. Gopi Krishna is a professor and HOD in the Department of Rasya and Vaishujya Kalpana at Sri Jagadguru Siddeshwara Ayurveda Medical College and Postgraduate Research Center, Koppal, Karnataka. He has completed BMS from and MD in Rasya from SDM College of Ayurveda, Udupi. He is a member of API. Mercurial Conservation in India, Ayush. Other education qualifications include CCN, CCH, CGO. A successful clinical and as well as academic person with multi-dimensional views regarding theory and practical approaches of Ayurvedic science, especially Rasya Shastra. Experience in all types of Ayurvedic preparations like Potali, Kalpana, etc. And guiding students of post-graduation in various areas of research, especially in mineralogical categorization and their health benefit. He works as an associate professor at Bapuji Ayurvedic College, Chitradurga, and Sri Jagadguru Gavisiddeshwara Sansthan Ayurvedic Medical College, PG studies for 10 years. Experienced in formulating new Ayurvedic preparations in cosmetics, Ayurvedic manures, hair dyes, etc. Personally prepares around 250 Ayurvedic preparations and self dispenses in his clinic to the patients. I presented a number of papers at international and national seminars. So a very accomplished doctor. So let me call upon Dr. M. Gopi Krishna sir for his presentation. Sir, hello. 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 Gopi Krishna sir. Dr. Rahul, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. Gopi Krishna,
Okay.
sir, having some network.
Oh, okay. Wait for 1 second. If 1 minute, if it's not working, we can go to the next teacher. So, we'll just wait for him. So I'll just give you a small idea. There were some questions in the chat box. I'll just go through that. And some people were asking for the curriculum. We will be showing it, after the teachers have spoken. Also, we'll post in the chat box, a WhatsApp group that the link to which Dr. Rahul is posting in the chat box. I think sir is there now. Govishan sir?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
audible now?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you very much. I think, is it fine? Is
Yes,
it
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So I really congratulate once again to the whole team for making this, as I could really sense a lot like what Dr. Vaida ma'am has just told about the Trimurtis here. So it was a wonderful statement, and definitely great efforts to make the things to happen. It's really fine to be here on this particular dais and to share my thoughts with all the experts who are here, and also with the beautiful delegates from all over. The main part is what we'll be discussing about this particular session on the Prameha. Basically, to speak about, I'm a clinician. I prepare my medicine and I use it in my patient. So I might not be able to come up with all the textual references, what Chakrapani is told, what Dallana is told, what is a commentary on it, what is a grammatical force of it, and how is that we are supposed to take it. Primarily, I will be discussing the concepts where if a patient comes right in front of me in my clinic, at what stage of the illness of the Prameha, what is it I'm supposed to prescribe, and what is the response I might expect in the patient. There are nearly thousands and thousands of prescriptions to be given in the Prameha case. So which is my choice of drug, which I take when I have a patient sitting right in front.
Hello. Hello, sir. You're muted, sir. One second. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll be coming up with most of them are the Rasaushadhis, because my practice is basically from the Rasaushadhis. So what is the dosage of Rasaushadhi I prescribe in a patient? What stage of the illness of diabetes? What sort of Rasaushadhis I do prescribe? And what is that we need to give as a sort of a comorbid conditions, like the Pura Rupas of the diabetic patients, if at all. If they're very strong enough with a familial tendency, what is the medicine we are supposed to give as a protective measure, if at all we need to give as a Rasaushadhi primarily. So I'll be discussing about the clinical protocol of the Prameha as such. I think there are lots of experts where they discuss and they encourage a lot about many of the factors regarding it to make the total complete circle of understanding the Prameha in a nutshell. So this is what I'll be coming up primarily about the patient view when he's right in front of me, what is that I give and how is it I experience with the clinical data. So thank you once again, and I congratulate once again the whole team and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. It is sir is also taking Niramaya program for us, and tomorrow is his class actually in Niramaya. So thanks for all the cooperation, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Next, we have Dr. Remya Alekil, and I just want to say she was a supporter of Pradigna from the beginning itself. So a big thanks to her for that. And let me introduce a small introduction of Dr. Remya Alekil before I hand over to her. Dr. Remya Alekil currently works as associate professor and HOD Department of Panchakarma, and she is a vice principal of Ashtangam Ayurveda College and Chikitsalayam and Vidyapeetham Kutanad Palakkad. She is also a senior visiting specialist at the Natural Touch Ayurveda Specialty Center, Kannur. She had her BMS from VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, followed up with an MD in Panchakarma from Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum. She is a resource person for Panchakarma for Institute of Management and Governance, Government of Kerala, and has taken many training sessions for government and government medical officers as well as private doctors. So over to Dr. Remya for her introduction. Dr. Remya.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Chaturmukha-samarambham, Vagbhadacharya-madhyamam, Asmadacharya-paryantam, Vande Guru-paramparam. A very good evening to one and all. Once again, happy to be in the platform of Pratigya, and that too discussing MEHA. This is an area I think as practitioners we all are facing today to a very great extent. To be very frank enough, when we think of Prameha and its basic lakshanas, which has been mentioned as Prabhuta Avila Mutrata, and can we just include diabetes mellitus under the broad spectrum of Prameha? I think nobody would agree with that. Prameha is a syndrome which can include many pathogenesis. Probably the different kinds of Pramehas that has been mentioned by Acharyas as Vatika, Paitika, Kabhaja, 10 kinds of Kabhaja, 6 kinds of Paitika. And the basic examination point with respect to Prameha is Mutra Pariksha, Prabhuta Mutrata and Avila Mutrata. But many times in practice, what happens, we have started dictating diabetes mellitus as Prameha, and we diagnose Prameha when RBS is above 150 or 180 or 200 plus. And never as a practitioner, we make a point to go for Mutra Pariksha, where Acharya has specifically mentioned differential diagnosis of Prameha or differential aspects of Prameha with respect to Mutra Pariksha. So how as clinicians can we understand Prameha in that aspect? Probably this is the area that I'm going to deal with it, because it was after even my clinical experience and observation that when we started doing Mutra Pariksha clinically, when by looking after Mutra, whenever we observe either Prabhuta Mutrata or Avila Mutrata in a patient, how different it is. And when we speak about the different kinds of Neela Meha, Kala Meha, Vasa Meha, all those things, we always think what is it actually? And all those things they're told in the text, are we seeing it clinically, or at least are we trying to observe? So my presentation would be exploration in that particular area, which is sharing of some of the thoughts, because I'm very confident that lot more has to be done in that aspect or to be understood in that aspect. So within my limited clinical experiences, I would like to share my thoughts on the area of differential understanding of various types of Prameha, probable modern correlations, and how can we as an Ayurvedic practitioner look at all those things and try to treat them, would be one area. And another one would be the different, when we think of Prameha and treating, usually the medicines that come when it is Prameha, the things that come under our sensibilities, Nisha Kathakadi, Kathakagadradi, Chandrabhava, Amrita Mehari, Meha Amritam, etc., that spectrum, wherein there are different Shamana Aushadhis, but are they enough when we are looking at the Samprapti of Prameha in total? And how can we differentially understand the pathogenesis and at that particular, and how can we utilize different yogas told in Shastra in different contexts? I've seen blood sugar getting decreased with Chiruladi Kashayam and Vaishwanara Churnam. I've seen blood sugar getting decreased when we are giving Kalyanakam Kashayam. So all these things are different perspectives, rather different areas that we have to consider when we're dealing with a patient. Prameha, of course, in general with respect to diabetes mellitus. And as far as diabetes mellitus is concerned, I think it's the last 10 years, I think, when we have like last 8 or 9 years that I am into practice. So I have been seeing cases, the age limit of case getting decreased. We get now patients who are 35 plus, and they are coming to us and telling that I'm already on metformin for last 2 to 3 years, doctor. Now I have this what can Ayurveda do? So the age limit that diabetes has been diagnosed is coming to, and it's decreasing. And I think in next 10 years, probably 35 to 40 would be an age group wherein, almost more than, as Kerala is the diabetes capital, most of the, what you call it, as the younger generation would be in some or the other way in any of the NCD list. So I think Ayurveda is the only science that has got potential to at least prevent. And for that, we need to work at this particular point. And in that area, Ayurvedic physicians have got great role to play both at the curative level as well as preventive level. So I think it will be these aspects that I'll be dealing in my session. So once again, I congratulate the whole team Pratigya for continuing the journey of sharing knowledge and empowering our people so that we can face the community as a stronger practitioner. So all the very best for all your activities. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you for that. As I just want to tell you that the teachers, who should have the appreciation for that. Next, we have Dr. Rekha. So before I introduce Dr. Rekha, let me just tell you once again, Dr. Rahul is posting a link to a WhatsApp group, which you can click and join that WhatsApp group where all the details, brochure, curriculum, even this video that if you have come in late, do not worry. This video again will be posted there. You can go back, listen to the teachers and make an informed decision whether this course is going to be effective for you or not. Okay, so let me now call upon Dr. Rekha. A small introduction of Dr. Rekha. Dr. Rekha KV MS Ayurveda completed BAMS from Government Ayurveda College, Kannur. Secured post-graduation in MS Shalakya Tantra from Government Ayurveda College, Tripunithura. Has 5 years of teaching experience in Shalakya Tantra at MER Ayurveda Medical College, Parchinikadavu. Later joined the Indian System of Medicine Department of Kerala Government as Specialist Medical Officer, Netra. Conducted Drishti project of ISM Department for school-going children at GAH Iringalekuda. Currently working as Specialist Medical Officer at GAH Dwaraka, Wayanad. So let me call upon Dr. Rekha, who was also a previous teacher in our classes. So over to Dr. Rekha. Dr. Rekha.
Hello, doctor. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Please carry on.
Hi, very good evening to one and all. So first of all, I would like to say thanks to Dr. Shyam, Dr. Anchana, Dr. Rahul, and all the entire team of Pratigna for giving me a chance to become a part of your team. I know all the previous courses conducted by your team were really worthy and really wonderful. So many of the BMS graduates were getting benefit from those courses. So of course, this course also, it's a topic on MEHA because we know it's a relevant topic in the current scenario. So diabetes is one of the most common lifestyle disease in our country. So early management of diabetes and the early detection and management of the diabetes is helping in prevents complications. We know many of the patients are coming with the complications like diabetic retinopathy, nephropathy, and neuropathy, like the complications. So it's our duty to prevent these complications. So in my topic is critical review on diabetic retinopathy along with this Ayurvedic management. So we know diabetic retinopathy is also one of the leading cause of blindness in the current scenario. So early detection of diabetes is very important like that. So we have to find out which stage of retinopathy, what treatment should we do in that stage. So in my topic, I would like to cover all the aspects of diabetic retinopathy along with its diagnosis and relevant investigations. Nowadays, we know patients are coming with the investigations like fundus fluorescein angiography, then OCT scan report, etc. So it's our duty to find out which stage. So we have to go through the reports and we have to find out which stage of the disease. And we should diagnose the disease in our parameters, Ayurvedic parameters. So we have, if we are detecting the retinopathy in the early stage, we have many treatments because according to modern medicine, they have only surgeries and laser therapy. So they have no effective treatment on diabetic retinopathy. So it is as an Ayurvedic physician, it is our duty to find out the stage of the disease and do relevant treatment. So if the patient is coming in the early stage, we have many treatments like Talapodichel, then Shirodhara, Takradhara, Nasyam, then Tarpana, etc. So the initial stage we can correlate to Kapha Pittaja Timira or Parimlai Timira. So we have to do treatment like Kapha Pitta. We are selecting the drugs like Kapha Pittahara medicines for Talapodichel, etc. So in my topic, I would like to share the relevant medicines we have to take in the treatment and the procedures, Talapodichel, Nasyam, then Takradhara, then Tarpana, if Tarpana is needed or not, or in which stage we can do Tarpana. If bleeding is there, can we do Tarpana? So in the bleeding stage, we should select the Stambhana Nasyas and or Talapodichel, which should be Shida and Ruksha. So in my topic, I should like to cover all those things, that medicinal aspect and the therapeutic aspects. So I think this topic will be beneficial for you people. So I congratulate the entire team Pratigna once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha, for that introduction. Thank you. Now we'll be going to the next teacher, which is Dr. Krishna Priya. Before that, let me tell you, if you have any doubts regarding the session, please put in the chat. After the teachers have spoken, we will address them, and we'll try to clear all those doubts. Okay. So we have Dr. Krishna Priya VK now. So let me just give you a small introduction of Dr. Krishna Priya. Dr. Krishna Priya VK graduated from Nangeli Ayurveda Medical College, Kodamangalam. Has completed the post-graduation from VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, in Swastha Vritta and Yoga. She has presented several papers and at seminars, has been a part of the national level talks. She is currently the managing partner of Dhatu Wellness and stays at Anachal, Munnar. So let me call upon Dr. Krishna Priya once again. Yes. Dr. Krishna Priya, over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, 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 madam. Please carry on.
Okay. So very good evening to everybody, especially to my teachers. Many teachers of mine are present in the panel. It's so happy to be part of this panel, and it's an honor to be part in fact. So I have been assigned with a seemingly simple topic, but it is a very crucial topic when it comes to Prameha, which is the diet in Prameha or the diet in diabetes and its practical aspects. So my plan to conduct the session is in a manner which is a kind of evolution. Like I'm dividing the whole session into 4. In the first part, I'll be concentrating on what are the recent changes which have been occurring in the diet charts or the so-called diet therapies in diabetes for the past decade. And what are the major changes brought by the apex organizations of health like WHO and other organizations when it comes to the diet of diabetes. And second will be the evolution of the Pathya and Apathya in diabetes in our own classics, because we are well aware that not every classics is written in the same period. So we just have to compare and understand a little deeper how a thing, whether it be a drink or a food, is assigned as Pathya or Apathya in the case of Prameha. And along with that, how we have to practically understand the Pathya Pathya Vivechana, which is mentioned in the classics. Because most of the time we can see that only a shloka will be mentioned about, okay, what can be eaten and what cannot be eaten. And how to interpret that in the daily practice is a crucial crux of that shloka. So we will deal with that as well. And then we'll switch to the what is the practicing trends of Ayurvedic doctors in different parts of India regarding Prameha, or to be simplified as diabetes. Okay, because being a South Indian, it will be unjustified if I stick on to the commonly used food articles in South India. So because in the changing era, we have to deal with patients from all over the world. So how we are addressing their diet is a very crucial part in the prognosis of the disease. So we'll discuss that aspect as well. And then we'll come to the relevance of Guna, Kala, Samskara, and Viruddha in the diabetic diet, or the Pathya and Apathya of Prameha. Because in most of the times, even if a drug is or a food item is prescribed as Pathya, but when its Guna or Samskara changes, it may become Apathya due to the conditions. And the final portion will be some practical preparations which a beginner can prescribe to the patients with slight modifications in their existing diet. That is very important. It is not advisable to prescribe some flying Pathyas which is not at all practicable by the patient. So either the patient will stop seeing us, or they'll not follow Pathya at all. So we have to design Pathya and Apathya in a way that that is penetrating the patient, considering his Desha, Kala, and his Satmyas as well. So that will be the final part of the presentation. And I'm hoping that this presentation will be useful to you, everyone. And thanks once again for this wonderful team to give me an opportunity to be a part of this great team. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnapriya. We have had, the intro from the teachers. We have one more teacher who has sent us a video since they are all traveling or unavailable today. So Dr. Ram Manohar sir has sent us a video. So we'll be playing that now. So before that, let me introduce you, Dr. Ram Manohar in a small, very few words. Dr. P. Ram Manohar is the research director of Amarda School of Ayurveda. Completed his BAMS from Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, and MD degree from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore. He was honored with the award of Ayurveda Marga Pravartaka Award in 2014 and the Vaidya Sundarlal Joshi Smriti Shodha Puraskara in 2015. In 2016, he was awarded Bharadwaja Puraskaram, and in 17, he was honored with Dr. C. Dwarkanath Memorial Award for his contributions to Ayurveda. His publications include research papers in index journals and chapters in books. He has made research visits to USA, United Kingdom, Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Germany, France, Netherlands, Italy, Austria, Latvia, Russia, Denmark, Belgium, Singapore, Switzerland, Thailand, and Sri Lanka for the promotion of Ayurveda. So very eminent person in the field of Ayurveda. So let me, give you the video of Sir talking to us.
Namaste, I'm Vaidya Ram Manohar from Amrita School of Ayurveda under the Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham University. I work here as a research director. I'm very happy to be part of this online course Megha organized by Pratigna. In this course, I will be dealing with the topic of how Ayurveda can manage diabetes and what are the research updates. I mean, what is there in practice and what has already been researched? What is the gap? As we know, diabetes is a major burden, healthcare burden globally, and figures prominently amongst the leading non-communicable diseases that is challenging the modern world. And India also reports a very high incidence of diabetes, and it is often termed as the diabetes capital of the world. So definitely there are a lot of unmet needs in the management of diabetes, and we need to really demonstrate where exactly Ayurveda can intervene. And for this, in my opinion, we have to bring research and practice together. It is not because most of the time when we do research, we are picking up one herb or one formulation, whereas in actual practice we are giving a much more comprehensive approach in management. Shodhana, Shamana, Chikitsa together, diet, lifestyle modifications. So in the 1990s in the United States, there was a systematic review on all the research that has happened on Ayurveda and diabetes. And that systematic review pointed out, they listed about 44 formulations of single herbs that have been studied in Ayurveda for management of diabetes. And they came with the conclusion that all of them show promise, but more rigorous studies need to be done. But a very important point in that systematic review was that Ayurvedic treatments are not being researched in the way they are practiced. And perhaps if we want to really know the strength of Ayurveda, we must, move to practitioners and what this is nowadays called as real world research. So where is it that Ayurveda can actually contribute, and how can we establish this, with evidence? That is the focus of the topic, which I will be discussing. Is Ayurveda, can we say that Ayurveda is better for managing complications of or preventing complications of diabetes? Is it to be placed as a supportive treatment? Is Ayurveda more effective in pre-diabetes or in early stages of diabetes? So these are many questions that we have. And another important challenge is also in the diagnosis of Prameha. I mean, Prameha is such a broad category. It includes not only diabetes mellitus. So what about the Vimshati Pramehas? What about its classification to Kapha, Pitta and Vata? What are the insights that have been gained, in understanding the Ayurvedic diagnosis of Prameha and how we can apply this in actual clinical practice? So these are just some of the areas which I will be touching upon in my talk. And although it's on research, I'm more interested in showing how research can help in clinical practice and how clinical practice can strengthen research so that, the Ayurvedic contributions to reducing a global burden of mortality and mortality from diabetes, can be benefited by the contributions of Ayurveda. So namaste, and I look forward to participation. Thank you.
So special thanks to Ramana sir for sending us that video. So ladies and gentlemen, now we'll have an open session. You can ask your doubts in the chat box and we'll go through them. So before that, let me give you a small, hello, am I audible, Dr. Rahul? I hope I am. Okay. Somebody was asking in the chat, what is the course fee? The course fee is 1,499 for everyone. And if you are already a participant of Pradigna, we have reduced it to 999. The dates are 18/10, 2021 to 31/10, 2021. The timing is 8 to 10. So that is the time so that it is more convenient for everyone to attend. Okay, now I'll just go through some of the questions that is already in the chat box. Now, if you have any doubts, please do put in the chat, and you can also join a link. Dr. Rahul is posting a link in the chat box, which you can click and join a WhatsApp group where we'll give you all the details, the brochure, the curriculum, everything will be sent inside in that group. This video also, if you have come in late, do not worry. Just go to that, the WhatsApp group, and tomorrow by evening we'll be posting the link to this video so that you can go back and listen to the teachers and see if this course is for you or not. Okay, so I'll just go through few of the questions that are already there, and if you have any questions, please do put in the chat box. First thing is, what are the eligibility criteria to join the class? Dr. Varshida has asked. Doctor, this is actually we intend to provide this for BMS students as well as Ayurvedic practitioners. So this will be something that they can grow their career in. So that is what we want, right? There is a saying that specific is terrific. That is, if you are specified or specialized in a particular disease, that'll give you, that'll make you grow faster. So that is why we aim to have the courses like Niramaya is on rheumatology, and this Meha is on diabetes. So you can build your career on it. So that is the base of our program. So this will be beneficial for BMS and Ayurvedic practitioners. Is a fees? Yes, I already mentioned the fees. Again, I'll just tell you the fees is 1,499 for everyone, and for the participants of Pradigna who have attended at least one course of Pradigna, it will be 999. We have reduced that cost. Yes, BMS students can join. Yeah. The details will be put in the that WhatsApp group by tomorrow evening, and you can go back and listen to that and then make a decision. Please forward this to your friends and colleagues who will be interested to have a career in Meha, who will be interested in learning more about Prameha. I'm very sorry. I don't know if student who is not doing BMS can join, because you will not be able to follow the concepts that are put forward by the teachers. So I'm sorry about that. Recordings, yes, we will be providing recordings, and it will be available for at least 6 months. Okay. Yes, the recording of this video will be posted in the group. Notes, if at all the teachers are providing us with the notes, we will provide it to the students, but we cannot guarantee you notes, because all the things that the teachers mostly will be talking about will be in our textbook itself, right? And there is a question, DM reversible according to Ayurveda? I do believe it is reversible, at least in the beginning stages, because I am an Ayurvedic surgeon, and when a diabetic patient who has to undergo surgery comes to us, we used to give Ayurvedic medicines, and the sugar level comes down. Once we finish the surgery, we maintain that until the wound is healed, and then so till that we have experience such like that. And we were also able to reduce the dose of modern Ayurvedic modern medicines with Ayurvedic medicines. Okay, so that is my point. The teachers will give you a much more better idea. Get the videos of the lectures, missing part and revision. So yes, you will get the videos. So any more questions you can put in the chat, and Dr. Rahul, Dr. Anjana, if you want to add something else, please do.
Sir, kindly mention the WhatsApp group with the faculties.
Yes, and we will be forming a WhatsApp group after this. So this is also one thing that we do. So the participants of this program will be forming a WhatsApp group with along with the teachers. So what this will do is, when you start practicing after you learn the course, when you start practicing this, a patient comes to you, you are having a doubt, right? So where do you do? What do you do? So you put that doubt in this WhatsApp group, and the teachers, whenever they have time, they will try to guide you on it. So this will help you build your career. So the more complicated case comes to you, you can put in the chat, and it'll be a collective growth for everyone. So this will also be like a hand holding for all the participants to build their career. So I would clearly suggest that you join, I mean, like, this course if you are interested in diabetology, and you can build a career on it. The teachers will help you with that. Anything else, Dr. Anjana?
The recordings will be available for 1 year actually.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Okay. The recordings are available for 1 year. Yeah. So we'll put all the details in the the WhatsApp group that Dr. Rahul is posting the link to. So by tomorrow evening, you should be able to get all the details. Okay. So please make an informed decision. We are not, we bring all the teachers or whoever are available usually here to talk to you in this introductory session, so that you can make an informed decision on whether to join this or not. Because we can claim anything in our brochure, but we don't do that. We want to make sure that the student understand what they're going to attain from attending such a course. Okay, so let me just conclude after this. So I'll just go through some of the feedbacks from the students who have already been with us. So these are the feedbacks. We'll put all this in the WhatsApp group. Please do not worry. If you want to know more about us, please do visit www.pradigna.com, or you can reach us at pradigna@gmail.com. This is a course. Again, I'll just give you the course fees is 1,049.99 for everyone, and for the participants of Pradigna, it is 999. The date is from 18 to 31st of October. The timing is 8 to 10. So the course is for 14 days, and there are 13 faculties, and these are the course details which we will post in the group, and you can go through it a little bit more in detail. Again, all the topics will be given there. It's a total of 14 days of classes, and this is for the students already who have attended Pradigna courses. Now, these are the phone numbers of our phone numbers actually. So if you have any doubts, you can contact us in these numbers. The first one is my number 960-550-9999. Dr. Anjana Unnikrishnan is 944-6967-638. Dr. Rahul Jayashankar is 812-987-6622. So you can contact us in these numbers. You can take a screenshot if you are interested and contact us for any doubts. Okay. Now, these are, our team actually, Dr. Anjana Unnikrishnan, Dr. Rahul J, and myself, Dr. Shyam. I just want to leave you with a small quote. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. So we always try to give you some motivation in starting, in your practice, which will help you in your practice. So this is our saying, actually, keep learning and keep growing. So this is what our motto is. So I thank all of you for coming in and attending this session. Hope you will share this with your friends and colleagues. Thank you all. Thank you and have a good night. Thank you.